about the art exhibition prep, I promised someone in the comments that I would make a video about how I made a stamp of my logo that I can use to sign all of my paintings with, and then I just never made the video. But I did film it, and I did actually have some stuff already filmed for it. This is that video finally. So as you know, I usually paint pretty detailed paintings, but I cannot for the life of me write anything beautifully with a brush. So what I used to do was sign my paintings with just my initials because they were pretty simple and hard to mess up, but still I didn't think it was that pretty. So when I then changed my name to my artist name that I'm using now, I designed a whole new logo, and I decided that I'm no longer going to sign my paintings by writing my name, I am going to sign them with my logo. Another kind of idea I did play around with but decided not to use was I saw someone on TikTok actually using their fingerprint to sign their paintings, so just putting paint on their thumb and signing it, which I also thought was pretty fun and almost stole the idea. But yeah, I think the logo stamp has worked really well. So if you're having trouble signing your paintings, this is the video for you. You should keep watching. Let's get started with the stamp.
So for the actual stamp making, I got this little Linocut set, which is specifically for stamp making, but honestly I got it because it was cheap and it had everything I needed. You pretty much just need the carving tool and some Lino sheets. It also came with these little round Linos things that you're supposed to carve the stamps into, but they were obviously not the right size or shape for my stamp, so I didn't use them. I bought separately a couple of Lino sheets. So I have two different designs of my logo, and I'm going to attempt to make stamps of both of them. So the first thing I'm going to do is open them up in Photoshop on a A4 paper and make sure they are the right size for the stamp, for the size of stamp I'm going to make. And then I'm going to flip them over so they're mirrored and then print them out. This next part I am like 95% sure I had filmed, but I could not find the footage anywhere, so I had to refilm it after I had already made the stamps. So that is why I am not physically going to draw out the stamps here, because I'm going to use this Lino sheet for something else, but this is just how I transferred the design onto the Lino sheet. So I have my printed design, and I take my transfer paper, put it underneath my design, and then I just draw over the design with some sort of pen to get the color from the transfer paper to stick to the Lino print. And then you can obviously go over it with the pen on the Lino sheet so you can really see your sketch. So now it is carving time, and I just used my pen to kind of black out everything that I want to color on, and then I just know to leave that and carve out everything around it. And just a fair warning, please be mindful of your hand placement while you carve. My carving knife slipped like twice during one day, so I actually had 2 band-aids on my fingers by the end of this project. So. Now I'm ready to test out my stamp on my oil painting. The first thing I realized was I definitely needed a little support under the canvas to properly press the stamp on. So I just slid in some mini canvases underneath, but you could use like a book maybe or something. And the second thing I realized was definitely do this on a dry surface. So if you have oil painting, wait a few days till it's sort of dry to the touch before you do this. And my first test was definitely a failure. I did have to do a little bit of testing with how much paint and how much medium to use. and test it out with both oil and acrylics. This was really cool to kind of pick out the colors for the stamp depending on what colors I had used in the painting, and once I got the hang of it, I started stamping everything. I had the exhibition coming up, so I had a lot of paintings to put the stamp on, and I actually ended up also using the stamp on all of my new certificate of authenticity that I just had designed for this exhibition that I will be using from now on. So I definitely got a lot of use out of this stamp immediately, and I've been having so much fun using it. It's great. It's not at all a headache, unlike signing my paintings the way I used to. So I highly recommend considering this if you feel the same way.
So I hope that video was helpful, and I hope that you can now make your own stamps of your logos or just stamps in general, because obviously you can do all kinds of stamps with this technique. So, yeah, thank you for being here, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!